Hello everyone, today I'm going to look at how to get into lynda.com and get things set up, in order to look at some of the different programs that you might want to learn more about as you go through the class. And so I'm going to kind of scroll down here in the announcements. This will always be available about how to get into Lynda. So of course, one of the things is that in a class like the technology course, everyone's coming from quite different backgrounds. So some people have very little experience with technology. Some have an incredible amount of experience with technology, and so it's not really useful to make things the same for everyone across the board, because there might be something that is far too advanced for some people, and then that might not be challenging for others. And this is where, as opposed to me creating, playlists and everything for students, on Lynda, it's really helpful for you as a student to go through yourself and decide what it is that you're going to find most beneficial for you to learn about as we go through the course. Now, there are going to be some things that as a class we will learn and do together, but there are going to be, especially for the second half of the course, where you'll want to investigate different technologies on your own and to see what you might want to include for that that final project. So if you've not gone into it yet, you click on this link in the course. That will take you then to the page here, and you'll always come to Lynda through this. If you just go to lynda.com itself, the login criteria that you set up through the university will not work on there. It's a special link that allows Lynda to know that you are coming in through UNT, because the university has provided this service to you. And so we click on that button there, and if you've not set up before, so you put in your EUID and password. All I have to do is click on that because it's already entered. Click on that, and it automatically lets me in. Now, if it's the first time that you've tried this, even like the first time this semester, you'll come up on a screen. It didn't come up this time because I've already taken care of it, but it'll come up on a screen that asks, if you already have a login or if you need to sign up. So if it's the first time ever for you to use lynda.com through the university, you'll have to do a short sign up. And you do have to use your official university email address. And but if you have used it before, even with it being a new semester, I've had to go in and choose the thing that says, well, yes, I do have an account already. And so when I click that, it'll ask me to decide whether I want to start fresh. So then it'll wipe out all of my history of the things that I've already watched, playlists I've created, things like this, or if I want to retain that history. Now, for me personally, because I've created different playlists, and I like to know where it is that I've left off, even on those I've created and things I've watched. I went ahead and told it to go ahead and retain the history, because if there are things I don't want, I can always just go through and delete them. But I can also add onto things I already have. So that's what helps, at least in my opinion, with keeping that history, because otherwise you have to start everything all over. But I know many in the course right now, and this might be the first time that you're using Lynda, the great thing is that you can kind of look on our schedule and see what the different software we are going to use. If you want to get a preview, get a feel for those software packages, you can even come on to Lynda and get an overview on some of the things. So like the first group I know is going to look at Sketchbook Pro from Autodesk. And so if I just want to find something, I mean, I do already have it found, but you can actually just, type in the search engine looking for that particular software. And so we have a couple of hits here. So there's one of Essential Training, and then there is apparently a course on drawing one-point perspective, which can be pretty cool. But if we're looking at just getting started with it, then I'm probably going to want to start with Essential Training. Right? It's going to probably be a 101 and on, and whereas going all the way into drawing one-point perspective, they probably figure you've already gone through this 101. So let's go ahead and click on that there. Of course, I have watched some of the videos. On the left side, though, you'll have the contents for the entire course. So there will be several short videos, short screencasts, like we've talked about doing in class, and that you'll be making for your facilitations. You'll see actually that there are a great number of them throughout this course. You can bookmark them. You can jump around as you need to. If you know that there's some part of the software program that you are already familiar with, you can bypass that, or if you feel like you need a refresher, you can go back into it. What I really like about lynda.com is that not only do you have this overview that will give you a rundown and see what the topics are, show more here, see what some of these different topics are that they're going to cover, and it'll show you over here, right, the skill level. So for those who are just starting off with this software program, you'll want to start with the beginner level. But this, especially in things like there's so many courses on things like Photoshop or Illustrator and that kind of thing, is if you're looking for things like that, then you'll definitely want to have a look at that, because then if someone might have a fair background in Photoshop, you're probably not going to want to go with the beginner level. You'll probably want to go somewhere in the intermediate or advanced. And so have a look at what skill level the course that you've chosen is going into, and if it's not right for you, then you can just go back to your search. But what's also very nice is that there is a transcript for every video. They are all transcribed, so that's nice for accessibility. And a couple of things it does, I'm going to play this just a little bit. Let's see, so we can see where it is. Alright, so it might be kind of subtle on your screen, but if you notice, it actually starts from the beginning there, and as the speaker is talking, then whatever part they're saying actually highlights in the transcript in yellow, so you'll know where they are within. So if you happen to turn away, you're listening to a video that's going, and you maybe step over to get a drink of water or something like this, and you come back and it's still running, you can kind of look to see where it's left off. But if you also know there's a certain point within the video and you don't remember the time marker, but you might remember what they were talking about, right? If you notice, as I scroll over the transcript, it highlights in yellow as well. And so what I can do is I say, oh right, I was looking at this here where we're looking at these customizing brushes, and so I can click on that and it takes me to that point in the video, right? So you can even jump around the video in that way, and so if you realize you didn't mean to let it keep running and you see that it has, then you can always pause it and then kind of go back to where you had been. You say, oh wait, here we go, I needed to see this other window, and kind of go back into that spot where you left off when you stepped away from the computer. Okay. So that's also a very nice thing. Of course, you can full screen and different things like this. And then what you can do is, if there's a video that you like, that you want to keep, you know that you're probably going to want to refer back to it, you can create a playlist. And the playlists are custom, so you can add whatever videos that you're wanting to it. So I can say, okay, adding to a playlist, I can start a new playlist. Let's say Sketchbook Pro. And then there are a couple of other options. I can give it a description if I want, but I mean, I pretty much give a descriptive title. That way I can not even have to bother with this part, but you can always add something in there. And then there are a couple of other choices that are very nice. If I only want this particular video, then I can add it by itself, and then say if I go into another course that might be covering Sketchbook Pro as well, then I can find something I like in there and kind of mix and match to make my own kind of custom video tutorial course, so in that playlist. So I can go to different courses on the same, whether the same software or same kinds of techniques, something like this, do comparisons, things like that, that I can then either just choose that video, or you can even do a playlist of the entire course and save that entire course so you can go back to it and watch the entire thing. So I'm just going to choose this one video here in the beginning there, and then hit create. And if I come down to it, there is my playlist. Alright, so that is how you find something, kind of navigate around within a course, within different parts of a video, and how to save it to a playlist. You can share that video as well. Someone would have to be able to have to sign in with access in order to view it. And I can actually even then go into my playlists. Alright. And I can see some different playlists that I've started up. So here's my Sketchbook Pro. And here's that video that I just saved. And I can always go in and find some other course that might be looking at Sketchbook Pro and watch those videos as well. So I can edit that playlist, watch it, I can copy it, can make it public as well, and share it. Alright, so the thing to do is to get onto the lynda.com through your access through the university, and start creating, finding videos that you feel will be helpful and creating playlists. That way you can refer back to them as need be and not have to keep hunting down things, or at least a lot of things, as you are going through the course.